Bye. Bye.
Okay, you no one in the waiting is.
Nou, lekker. Je ziet dan soms raad en dan zien ons jou maandag. En jij stuurt mij een WhatsApp en sê jy's gereed vir haar. En dan bestel ek hom. Jy sien maar rustig om die paar kan doen van die boot van daar maar. Maar jy kom die hele maandag op.
Ja, dis
Jy kom deel van maandag. Want dis jou dag. Ek weet nie hoe om daarop te respond nie. My behoefte grens en ek weet of die nouer is ja. Ja, jy sien dit al weer daar ek net gedink hoe dit op 'n ander man die. En ik vooral de song dat komt van die woorden in al okay, lekker, goed. Bye.
Ja.
Ja, helemaal goed. Maar hij is vooral iets met studentjes. En dan. Maar hij is nou ook even gewoon heel goed ook. Ja, heel goed. Ze samen kunnen met hem. Ja. Oh. Ja. Jij hier.
All right, I'm just going to be there as Adele. No worries. Okay. That side. Rena, and then I can do your co-host. Hopefully it works out this side now. Janice. You're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Daniel. My name's Adele.
Hi.
You well?
Nice to meet you.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm good,
Likewise.
thanks.
Wonderful. And then I've got Lance, I'm going to admit, Standiwe, how are you, my dear?
I'm good, and you, ma'am?
Oh, can't complain. Dundee, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
You good?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, can't complain, my dear. Mia,
Yes.
and Miss, hello, Mia.
Hello.
And then we have Lance. Hi, Lance. And then we've got, is it Dicka Lady?
Yes, Dikeledi.
Dicka Lady. You
Yes.
prefer Dicka Lady or do you have a nickname? What do they call
You
you?
can call me Dikeledi, it's fine.
Dicka Lady.
Dikeledi.
Okay.
You can say Tay for short.
What is it? Come again? Can you hear me?
You can call me DK for short.
DK.
Yes, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay. Great, DK. We got it. I will tell them on a moderator. Fantastic. Lance, can you hear me? Lance, can you hear me? Lance? Lance? Lance, can you hear me? Push up your volume, please, Lance. Let's just see here. Chat. Lance. I can't hear you. Up your volume. Volume. Great. Can't hear you. Yes, can you hear me, Lance? Pule? You good? I'm going to ask you to unmute. Pule? Lance?
Yes, I'm here, ma'am.
Testing. Yes. Lance, testing. Can you hear me, Lance? Lance, can you hear me? Puli, can you put on your video, please?
I will do that.
Thank you so much, sir.
No
Okay, let
worries.
me just call this gentleman. And then let's just see here quickly. And a lady. Okay, what you can do is you can, in the meantime, love that background of yours, Tandy. Oh, and Mia, you guys got good taste. Both of you. Well done. Hello, Puli. I can hear you. Lance,
Thank
can
you,
we...
thank you.
You good? Lance, can we maybe just try again if we can hear you? Oh, you're connecting to audio. Great. Thank you, sir. Right, let's just see here quick. If you want to maybe have a notepads or a piece of paper that you can jot down whatever, notes you want to make during the session, please do. Appreciate. Can you hear me now, Lance? Testing. Right. Hi, Lance. Okay, I'm going to give him a call and then we're just waiting for one more person. Okay. Okay. Right. Make sure. 1 second. Thank you. Almost. Oh, Lance is trying to come in again. Right, I'm going to admit you again. Let's see. Madam.
Can you hear me?
Hey, success. Thank you. Thanks so much. Bye. Okay. I think there's another lady, but do you want to start? Oh, okay. Thank you. So testing, launch. You okay now? You can just unmute. I'm asking you to unmute. Bottom left. Click on audio on and off. I'm prompting you now. Lance, can you hear me? Hello? Lance? Just see now quickly. 1 second.
Hi, sorry, I'm not hearing you guys. Just see. You guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can hear you.
yes, we can hear you.
We hearing him, he can't hear us.
Can you hear us, Lance? Can you hear now?
He's not moving at all.
Okay,
But
sure.
we'll hear him if he speaks.
Yeah, we can't hear you at
Yeah.
all. Sure.
I don't know what's the
Mm.
connectivity. What's
Yes, I don't know what's your connectivity.
unless he goes out and comes back in
Yeah.
again, and we try again, just one more time.
Okay. Just one more time. No.
Just call him and just say we'll
Okay.
try again
Quickly. All right.
to get him.
Yes.
Otherwise, everybody else is in.
Just one lady still.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll call her. Okay.
Hello? Yeah, I can't hear you guys. Yes. Yeah, I'm in those settings now and I can see the input level. It's like, is it the output level that's not working? Because it's not allowing me to change the. I'm just going to say, I'm going to try and see if I can connect again and see. Okay. Yeah. No. I'm just not sure why I can't hear you. Okay, I'll try again. Okay.
Good afternoon, all. I hope that you are well. My name is Danny, and I'll be facilitating this discussion. So we are waiting for one more person to join, but we're going to start the group. Just because everybody else was on time. Adele is still trying to get Lance reconnected. It would seem like there's just something going wrong with his connectivity because we can hear him, but he can't hear us. So which means that during the whole group, he's not going to hear anything that we say to him, and that will defeat the purpose. So let's just see if this last attempt is going to work in getting his connectivity sorted. Hey Lance, how are you?
Hi, how's it? Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, no, so thanks for joining us. So Adele will once the other person that was meant to join us comes in, I'll just admit them. But let me take this opportunity to just let you guys know. Okay, I just want to ask Adele. Adele, are we recording here? Yeah. Is it on? Just check for me. I think I must have pressed play. So just start it again. Okay. Okay. So my name is Danny, and as I said, I'll be facilitating this afternoon session. We should be together for about an hour and a half during this discussion. But I always say to people, it depends on the amount of sharing that gets done during the conversation. Just give me that book and pen, please. The book. Thank you very much, Adele. So what I always say to people is that in research, there are no right and wrong answers, right? So that's the one thing. You have not been recruited to participate in this discussion so that we can achieve group consensus. That's not the aim of research. Your personal views and opinions are more important for the customers whom we do these studies for, because they're looking for independent, objective, honest views from consumers so that they can make proper business decisions that will hopefully benefit consumers at large. So we do, as I said, record the session. Because we are also doing this online, I would like you to help me in two ways. One is when someone else is speaking and it kind of like sparks a thought or something that you want to share, I would like you to either raise the electronic hand within the Zoom meeting so that I'm just aware that you want to say something. That hand will be under the react bar here at the bottom in Zoom. So if you click on that arrow where react is, you will see a small hand or a gesture like DK's done now. She's raised her hand, and that's how you do it. Or the other way to do it is just to wave at me. Just kind of like, hey, Danny, I'm here, want to say something. And I'll redirect the conversation to you, and then we'll continue the conversation. If you are perhaps find yourself all of a sudden in a very noisy environment, due to noises outside or kids or whatever, or the house, just mute yourself in that moment, and then you can unmute again, and then we'll continue the discussion. So we are going to start off with introductions, just so that we can get to know each other a little bit better. I normally call this section the speed dating section, where we are able to share a bit of information. You will see that Adele is on the call with us, but she will not be participating from her side. And also, what we just want, because we've had some technical interruptions in the area, and sometimes the internet just fluctuates. So if there's perhaps a chance that I start buffering or you can't hear me, please just type in the chat or let me know. And we will kind of like rectify it on this side, just to be aware if there's any internet interruptions on the line. So let's start with our introductions. I normally and always start, as tradition, with the person that is in the left-hand corner of my screen, and that is Damien, if I'm pronouncing that right. So Damien, what I'd like you to do is to tell me your name, your age, what do you do for a living, and then how would you describe your kind of like life stage at the moment? Are you married, children? And then maybe even what's your next big, audacious, big goal that you have for yourself that you're trying to work towards or trying to achieve? Okay, I'm going to hand over to Damien.
Okay. Okay, so I'm obviously everyone knows my name is Damien. I'm 25. I work as a solo marketing assistant at Urban Eden in Cape Town. And essentially, my current day, like next goal, is essentially to work on the farms in America eventually. Like to go
Okay.
work on the combine harvesters to earn some decent money, so I can set up my own business side.
Okay, thank you. Tandy?
Hi everyone, my name is Tandy. I am 29 years old. I work at the Department of Water and Sanitation as a project manager. Currently, I'm a mother of one, a 12-year-old boy. And I'm a student. I'm studying nursing. I'm planning to change careers very soon.
Okay. And then DK, I know that's what we're calling you for the group, but I know that that's not your name.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dikeledi. I reside in Johannesburg, Randburg. I am a mother of a handsome, naughty boy. And my goals, my life is kind of busy right now. Work, school, and a whole bunch of things. Still finding my feet, but out there.
Okay. Then is it Mia?
Yes, it's Mia. Hi guys, my name is Mia. I am 27 years old and I am a musician. And one of my main goals is to be able to continue making a living as a musician and hopefully one day be able to travel the world and make some music and spread some hope and some change and start some non-profit organizations with the backing of music and stuff like that.
Okay, thanks, Mia. Pule?
Good day, everyone, on a lovely Friday afternoon. So my name is Pule. I'm a teacher, currently a teacher at Swan Academy in Roodepoort. My next goal is to retire, and I'm joking. Obviously, to become a deputy principal or principal. That's what we're working towards. Still single and with no kids.
Okay. Then we have Lance.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lance. I'm 40 years old. I'm also not married. I live in a small town called Malmesbury in the Western Cape. I'm currently working in Cape Town. I work as a research scientist, focusing on infectious lung diseases, specifically tuberculosis. And I would say a big goal for us is finding a new vaccine for TB. And hopefully this research, one of our goals is that that will be accomplished. And then, as you know, TB is still a massive problem in South Africa, and then hopefully help many people with this.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, Lance. And the last person to introduce herself is it Standiwe?
Hi, guys.
Hi. Hi,
Oh,
Standiwe.
okay.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. My name is Tandiwe. I am 33 years old, born and raised in the Eastern Cape. I work as a bookkeeper at a organization. I'm a mother. My big goal is to have is to build in the next few years to come is to build rental flats and have a business.
Okay. Okay. So, guys, this was the first and last time that we've gone in such an orderly fashion where everybody gets a chance to say something. From this moment on, I'd like it to be a discussion, free flowing in that sense. Like I said, if you find yourself in a quiet environment, you don't have to keep yourself on mute. So you can unmute if your environment is quiet. If not, then yes, I understand you keeping that on. So we are going to speak about the telecommunications industry, and one of the aspects that we want to understand is what statements have been made that internet access is very important. But I don't want you to think about your mobile phone. I want you to tell me, why do you believe internet access at home, having internet access at home, is important to you? And what's made it so important? And anybody can start the discussion, otherwise I'll pick on you. I'll start with
Well,
Mia.
yes, yes. Well, for me, I do a lot of online lessons, musical lessons, and things like that. And I prefer to be able to work remotely because I need to travel a lot for gigs and for music and for things like that. So to be able to at home have good connection is for me to be able to make a living. Um, it's very important, and without it, I need to be able to answer emails on time. I need to be able to, if I need to download songs or download stems or update software, anything like that, I need to be able to do it quickly and I need to be able to do it effectively. It impacts my work big time. So yeah, it's important on my
Okay.
side.
Okay. DK, for you?
For me, Danny, we live in a technological world. Our TVs, our laptops, our phones, we need the connection. So for me, it's wanting all of those devices connected to network.
Okay. So it's needing
From
all those
work
things.
to research to kids' homeworks, I need to be connected. The home needs to be connected.
Okay. And doing homework. Pule, for you?
Okay, I will also say the price. If we look about the price currently of, let's say, just buying data is quite an expensive. I mean, it doesn't even last. And let's say, if we calculate everything together, it's more than, let's say, you have a standard contract that's about, let's say, 600 Rand that you pay 600 Rand for. And then you buy like gigs and gigs and gigs. And that's very expensive. Though. At the end of the day, we'll end up paying like, I mean, 1.5 just on data alone. So for me, it's the price also.
Okay. And do I understand what you're saying, Pule, is that the price of a home internet solution versus the price of mobile data is cheaper? You'll be
Correct.
spending more on mobile data than what you
Yeah.
actually spend just on one fixed price that you're paying
Yeah.
for home internet.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damien?
Yeah. So it's essentially with my line of work, I have to keep track with all the marketing aspects of our sales community, solar, and unfortunately, it's impossible to do that without home internet. It's too expensive to do that. It just doesn't make sense. It's too expensive. That's the main reason, and I can't keep
Okay.
track without home internet.
Okay. Lance, for you?
I would say it's the same what Mia said. So it's your job is completely linked with the internet now, and the options of remote work. So especially for me, I don't reside close to my place of work, so I can actually work from home. So it saves me a significant amount of traveling time, petrol now with like these insane prices we're having now. Just like wasted time you would sit. I don't know if anyone knows how terrible Cape Town traffic can be. So you can at least you save a lot of time. You're more efficient, more productive, and I mean your home internet allows that.
Okay. Okay. So, Sindiwe, do you have any other thought, anything that you want to add to what the guys are saying as to why internet access at home is so important for them?
For me, it is important because I have to spend less on data, especially for my kids. It was specifically for my kids to access internet in terms of homeworks. So it also helped us to connect our TV and everything. So we are sorted now because we don't have to spend more on data.
Okay. So if we look at how we are connecting to the internet. So I want to ask you guys what technology are you using and which service provider you are using for that technology. So Lance, if I come back to you and I start the conversation with you, what internet access are you using in your household and who's your service provider?
At the moment, we're using a 5G Wi-Fi, and it's Telkom.
Okay.
It's our provider at the moment.
Damien, you?
At the moment, I'm using a LTE 60 meg line with Telkom.
With Telkom, okay.
Yeah.
Mia?
Also Telkom LTE 60 meg line.
Okay. Then we have DK.
It's also LTE Telkom.
LTE Telkom. Okay. And then Sandiwe?
Yes, I'm also using LTE Telkom.
Okay. Pule?
That will be a Telkom, the 5G.
5G Telkom. Okay. And Tandiwe? Tandi? Sorry, Tandi?
It's Telkom LTE.
LTE Telkom. Okay. So I just want to take a step back and ask you, for one, is there fiber in your area? Because it's just interesting that everybody's using LTE, but I just wanted to understand, and maybe you can just give me an indication with your hand, by raising your hand, how many people have got fiber in their area currently? So Mia's got fiber in her area, Lance has got fiber, Tandi, Damien has got fiber, that's four. Okay, so only four people have got fiber in their area, right? So let me just write that down. For those that have got fiber in the area, why was fiber not your choice of internet access? Damien, if I started with you, why didn't you go with a fiber line?
I just didn't really properly think about it. When I got the LTE before the fiber was in the area. So I just
Okay,
stuck with it. I didn't really change.
so you had it before.
Yeah.
Okay, Mia?
Pretty much the same thing, and it is something that we are considering moving to.
You're considering moving to fiber.
Yes.
Okay. And then Lance?
Yeah, I would say it's a similar situation. It was just that was already something I was familiar with and have used before. So it would just make ease of use, I would say. But then I would also say fiber is something I would definitely look into. So just time-wise, I haven't had the time. And we have few people now, so you would probably have to consult with everyone first and do your research a bit more. So it's more for convenience sake at
Okay.
this moment in time.
Okay, someone else, I think there were 4 people that had fiber. Tandi, did you say you've got fiber in your area? So why have you not selected fiber?
Yeah, so yes, we do have fiber in my area, and I also share the same sentiment with others. It's been something I've been using far before the fiber lines were introduced. So haven't thought of changing because I've been comfortable with what I'm using. But yeah, something to look into.
Okay. So
Sorry,
let me,
Danny.
yes.
Sorry, Danny, to interrupt. I think we do have five. I never checked.
Is it? Okay, so you kind of like in between whether
Yeah,
you
I'm
do
in
or need to have.
between. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this question in that sometimes we might have an opinion about something whether we use it or not, right? And that could be informed by what we read, what we hear, what we see, and things like that. So if I had to ask you, what are the perceived advantages of fiber as an internet technology? What would you say are those perceived advantages that fiber offers versus its disadvantages? So we're going to think about the advantages. So what would you list as some of the advantages that fiber provides?
I would say faster.
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 So
Yeah.
you would link it to speed. So you would say, Pule, you're saying it's faster. Okay.
Correct.
Any other thing we would add as an advantage that fiber has as a technology?
Well, wouldn't it be a bit more reliable in terms of if you cap at a certain type of gig where it won't just drop and it doesn't just, slow down the line and you can have a few more people on the line or things like that.
Or like a
From what I
stable
understand.
connection.
Yeah, more stable connections, faster connections, reliable connections and stuff like that.
Okay, so I'm writing that down quickly. Stable, reliable connections. Okay. More people to access. Okay. What else would we say could be an advantage that we would put with LTE? I mean, with fiber, sorry, with fiber in that we know. DK?
And also it has advantages to the weather.
Okay. So are you saying it's not
Meaning that
dependent by weather?
in terms of when it rains, yes, because there's no satellite, if I'm correct. So,
Okay.
which I think that is why the connection is more stable.
Okay. So basically the two that's been highlighted is more reliable, faster, speeds. It's not dependent on weather, and that's why it enhances the connectivity of fiber. It gives more reliability to the number of people that access it. Any other thing that's not been mentioned as a potential advantage that fiber would give you as an internet connectivity? Okay. Is there any negatives that comes to mind
Well, it's
that
not available
fiber?
everywhere.
Okay. So that's a negative.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not available
available
everywhere. I
everywhere.
agree.
I would also say we live in South Africa. Theft, eh? Cable theft.
Okay. Cable theft is another threat that it
Yeah.
has to it. Cable theft. Okay. DK?
I think the other advantage is that doesn't it fiber work when there's no electricity, load shedding, and it's possible for you to back it up with an app. And we call it apps,
Okay.
backup power.
Okay. So what I hear you saying is that fiber can work during periods of electricity outages or load shedding.
Yes, it can.
Okay. So let's continue thinking about the negatives. So far we've got it's not available everywhere and susceptible to cable theft. Lance, would there be
Price.
anything that you think are the negatives of fiber?
I would say probably installation is a more arduous process in something like 5G. So you're going to have to get technicians in. It's going to be when they can come, when you're available. So it's going to be a bit more inconvenient, I think, where more of the LTE and the 5G is a lot easier to set up. And you can probably do it yourself as well.
Okay. DK?
Yeah, and also the fact that with fiber, if fiber is interrupted in the area, meaning the whole area's network coverage is affected. So meaning that it impacts on not only one household, but the whole area, not only one person.
Okay. Okay. Damien, any negatives for you? Damien, why have I lost you? You're not muted, but the sound is just gone.
Can you hear me now?
You're back.
Okay,
You're back. You're
sorry,
back.
I misclicked here. My bad. Okay,
Okay.
so it's mainly just availability from what I've heard. I haven't heard too many downsides from it.
Okay, not too many downsides.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we think of Lance, you wanted to say something?
I just thought about, with fiber also depends on who the provider is. You
Who's
might have
that?
less options where you're going to have to go with whoever's lines have been put in. Even though you might not want to, you want to use a different provider, that you'll be stuck with whoever's put it in.
Okay. So you would say you've got somewhat limited options depending on who's in the area that provides the service. You might not have a variety of choice and opportunity to choose widely. Mia, you wanted to say?
Oh, someone was actually just walking in and was about to come and speak with me, so I was trying to tell them I'm I'm busy.
Okay.
But if I had to add something, I think maybe pricing might also be a disadvantage.
So what is it about pricing? Do you think they're more expensive?
I think it might be more expensive. Yeah, it should be more expensive because in the long run, I'm not exactly sure how the installations work, but I'm pretty sure it's more expensive to try and get people to come out and install it, and then on top of that to pay per month. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if we think of our current technology that we are using in terms of LTE or 5G, what are some of the associated advantages that LTE or 5G gives you within within your home or within your connectivity? What would you say are the positives of LTE and 5G? Tandi, what would you put on the list?
Is that even when you maybe you are due for payment, they give you extra days. They don't
Okay.
cut it immediately.
So you've got
They give
extra days
you,
of payment. You've
yeah,
got
they
some
give you
form of
grace period.
grace. Okay.
Yes.
Anything else you'll put on the list, Andy? For
I
what is
think
the advantage of having LTE, of using LTE?
I think that in terms of speed is more faster. I would
Okay.
say
So
that.
faster speeds. Pule, for you, what are some of the advantages of
I would say it's
LTE or
portable,
5G?
eh? I would say it's
Portable.
portable. Portable. I can take it anywhere where I need to take it, and I can just plug it in, and off I go. So it's very
Okay.
convenient also. Yeah.
Okay. Standiwe? Standiwe?
I've just mentioned the speed. I was the
Yes.
one who mentioned the speed.
Okay, you mentioned the speed. DK?
Yeah, in terms of speed, it's faster.
And also I love how it can handle many devices in one household. So it connects
Okay.
a whole lot of devices.
Okay, so it can handle many devices to it. Tandiwe?
Speaking of connecting of devices, I have control of how many people can connect. Like it's not a lot of people that can connect at the same time because sometimes that's what makes the network to be slow.
So you say the fact it gives you access control to how many devices and how many people you are connecting to it. So at this stage, we've got faster speeds as being portable and mobility. More devices can be connected to it. There's actually more control that's given to you through LTE to what you want to connect. And obviously, someone said that they get extra days of payment. Anything else that is a big advantage for LTE, Damien, that stands out that's not been mentioned or should be added?
It's what applies to the disadvantage of fiber. There's more availability for LTE. It's just there's more availability to it.
Okay, so made availability, that's it, it's accessible in more areas.
Yeah.
And low
Lance,
latency.
anything for you?
I would probably also say portability and just ease of use. It's easy if you have to move somewhere else on short notice to get it set up again and get going. It's easy to do things yourself with it. And just once you're familiar with that type of setup, it's just easy to use and to move around. And I would say, yeah, portability and ease of use.
Okay, let me go from DK, then I'll go to Pule. So DK, what do you want to say?
Danny, I wanted to add on the issue of cables. No cable. Yeah,
So
so
no cable.
we can pay it with portability.
So no cables required.
Yeah, there's no stress. Yeah, no stress of cables.
Okay, Pule, for you?
More or less the same thing. So I would say it's user friendly. So I mean, I can set it up myself. I just get the box and I can operate it myself. I don't need someone to come install it and then the whole shebang. So I can do it myself actually.
Okay, so if we now think about the negatives of our LTE and our 5G network, or our 5G and LTE connectivity, Mia, what's the first thing that comes to mind in terms of what's the negative about it?
If there's too many people, then it drops. It's the trafficking of the usage.
Is that too many people in the house or too many people in the area?
I think from my experience, too many people in the house. If everyone's trying to stream a movie at the same time or download a game or whatever, if there's high gigs involved at the same time, it drops quite significantly.
Okay. Anything else? Damien, what would you put up? And then I'll go to Lance after Damien.
I would say so. Indoor interference, for example, it's difficult to go through certain materials like hard walls and all that. So it slows down the connection sometimes if it's in a house specifically. And also with like what
Okay,
Mia said, when there's too many people connected.
so indoor interference, like rooms and walls and stuff like that,
Yeah.
can affect it. And that, Lance?
Yeah, I'd probably add on to that this similar type of thing where it might be working fine and then suddenly your connectivity is really bad, and it could be something that's got nothing to do with you in terms of it can be something from outside that's interfering with the signals and things, and it might be very difficult to figure out what it is. So sometimes it makes troubleshooting quite difficult.
Okay, you cannot control it, kind of like
Yes.
you know. Okay. Anything else, Tandiwe, that is a negative with you that you with your LTE or 5G? Tandiwe?
Hi, you are cutting. You are just kicking. I don't hear you clearly.
Okay, I'm saying, what are the negatives that you've experienced with LTE and 5G?
Sometimes it gets lost internet. It can be lost.
Okay, so it's like signal lost.
Yes, it's a signal loss, but I can't hear you clearly. I don't know what is happening.
Okay, well, can the others still hear me fine?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sanjeev, just check your connectivity, because the others say they can hear me. Not so sure what's happening your side. Okay. So is there anything else that we would want to put on the list? A lot of people said indoor interference, too many people, then there's drop of signal. Lance has said that you cannot control the factors that impact on signal. Sometimes they're out of your control while working, and it suddenly sometimes also drops is another thing. Lance, you've got your hand up.
It's also sometimes with, I think with fiber, you have more, say with upload speeds and download speeds, they're more similar. But usually with the 5G, like with upload speeds, it's sometimes much less than your
Okay.
download speed.
So you sometimes have much less upload speeds compared to download.
Yeah.
DK?
I wanted to add on location lock. There are locations where it doesn't work at all.
Okay, so locations locked. So sometimes LTE is not always everywhere. So you do get, is that what you're trying to say, DK?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes you go to other, maybe you're changing your location and it's working.
Okay. Okay. So I want to understand then, in terms of just when you have to select a service provider, what's the most important thing that you look for in terms of an ISP? What influences your decision in choosing one ISP compared to another ISP? Thandi, if you think about it, what's important for you when you have to make a decision between ISPs? What do you take into consideration? Then DK, I'll come to you. Thandi?
The availability of it in my area is that that network provider is available in my area. Is it user friendly? Because sometimes you can try Vodacom, for example, if it's not working in your area. You may try Telcom, it works, or MTN, stuff like that.
Okay, so one for you is the availability of that service provider in your area, because you can only search for those that are available to you. DK, then I'll come to you and then go to Lance. So DK, what did you want to say?
For me, it has to be pricing. I believe it has to be reasonable. And then the other one, it has to be reputation of the service provider, because I'm not going to be sending countless emails and I'm not okay with that. Then you can put it as brand name reputation. And number 3 for me is going communication. Are they at communicating? If they are not, and I'm out.
So can I summarize it as customer service? And when you say communication, what does communication refer to?
Danny, I'm meaning if I have to query some things, if there's an interruption, if they communicate and I have to when I communicate, I expect it back from them. So it's a two-way street.
Okay, so you need two-way communication. Okay. Lance?
Yeah, I was also going to say, especially
Yes.
after sales customer service, especially if there are any issues, troubleshooting issues, how responsive they are, how willing they are to help. Also, something like that you can go on a month-to-month basis, and there aren't any like catches and things. You're trying to maybe cancel it. I mean, you've heard some from other people, some horror stories in terms of that, sometimes how difficult it was for them to cancel their subscriptions to them.
So you look at the terms and conditions, you look at the cancellation policy, the month-to-month flexibility in terms of the contract. Mia, for you?
Definitely customer service and cancellation policy, as well as reliability. And what other people are saying in terms of their reviews and how they've experienced the service as well. It has to be reliable most of the time, all of the time, preferably, but we know that's not how it always works.
Okay, I'll come to you now, DK. Damien, for you?
Yeah, again, it comes to also customer service, their pricing, and also their reputation. If people say that this service provider's reputation is horrible, I'm not really going to be going for them. So I do trust what people say sometimes.
So it's that, and maybe that's the question. Pule, how important, and I'll come to you now, DK, how important, Pule, is word of mouth in what people are saying about the brand and the recommendations that people made? How important is that in influencing your final decision to choose a provider or not?
Remember, that's very important because that's people that went through this. Well, they were in the same boat, so they know what they're talking about. So I would look at that and then I would say, okay, but this is the type of product they're talking about. So it's very important. It's very crucial also because that's why I also look at the reviews also, what people say about the product. Always you will find the negative reviews and you'll find the good ones. All right. Then you can sort of like make a decision and say, okay, do I want to take it or do I take the chance or rather now and look for the next one? So that's very, very important.
Okay. DK, you wanted to say?
Yeah, I also wanted to add, Danny, on transparency of cost. I do not want to
DK,
to be that I don't
DK?
know about. And then when invoice comes, there's a whole things.
I want you to do me a favor. Can you switch off your video? I'm just trying to see if we can get a better connection with you when your video is off. Because there's a bit of interruption on your line. When I don't know. Can you try again to speak now, DK? I just want to see if it's better.
I was talking about hidden cost. I'm saying that I do not want to receive my invoice month end and then the hidden cost, that cost that I didn't know about. This month I'm paying this much, the next month I'm paying this month. Danny, the charges that I don't know about. Like I love transparency, so I know what I'm paying for.
Okay. So those would be the things that influence. And how important is word of mouth for you?
Word of mouth for me is very important. Like Pule said, these are people that have experienced, they had an encounter with the service provider. So for me, it's very important that if people say Telkom is best, Vodacom is best, I would trust on that.
Okay. And then and is that the same, Damien? Is that the same for you? That word of mouth is a big influence for you?
Yes, it is. It's because it's people that went through it. There's reason there's reviews, so that people can tell what they experienced with those service providers.
Okay. So if we also just think about, so now we know why we choose a service provider. It's either availability of network, we look at price, we look at all these kind of things, their after sales, their brand reputation, customer service, transparency, and all these things. But in choosing a package, when you had to choose your LTE package, right? I want to know what drove your decision in choosing the particular package. Was it the speed? Was it the price? Was it the terms and conditions? Was it the things you were getting with your package, or any gifts or vouchers or things like that? What made you choose that particular package? Tandi, if you think about the package you're on now, What made you choose that package?
For me, it was the speed and the people who are gonna use the internet. So it was basically for speed and the people around me because I'm using it with all my family.
Okay, so it was the influence of people, but it was the speed of also the line. Mia, for you?
Same thing, it was the speed and also the pricing.
So speed and pricing was the biggest determinant for you. Damien, what influenced your choice?
Once again, it's speed and pricing. It was mainly the main reason.
So speed and pricing. Pule?
Yeah, I agree with everyone else. Cyril's economy is very, very bad. So speed and pricing, we check what fits our pocket also, and then what do they offer, and then we choose the package on that day.
Standiwe, for you? Standiwe, you still there?
Sorry, I am the one who spoke first about the speed and the people who are around me that are using the same internet.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's
DK.
because of network issues around me.
Okay.
So
DK.
For me, it has to be whether it's kept or unkept, because I believe we all want the unkept one because we do not want interruptions, or we don't want to top up during the middle of the month. Nobody has that money. And then number two, for me, it has to be free. I can't call it freebies. What does it come with? Does it have a modem? Does it have a router? Like, what does it come with? You know, these things, did they, the cherry on top, Danny, did they throw anything else? And also contract length is very important, because you are not going to give me a 5-year contract. No, give me something that I'm able to manage in the meantime, so I'm able to judge you as a provider, that are you able to live up to those demands.
Okay, so it was a couple of things. It was uncapped or capped services. What are they giving as part of the package? Does it come with a modem? What is there? What is that cherry on the top that they are putting in for you? What is the contract length and duration of it? So that one is able to evaluate. Any other thing that has not been mentioned? So we've got speed and pricing that was mentioned as well, but maybe Lance, for you?
I'd also say something like usage policy, where if they would say it is uncapped, but then you actually, as they start throttling closer to the end of the month or something like that, that where that's not transparently talked about. I can say it like that.
DK, I don't know if that's an old hand. If you've got the,
it's a
or
new hand,
hand.
Danny. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. And also, what are your competitors offering? Meaning that before I take the package, I have to compare you guys to your competitors. And then if your prices are not at least at the range of your competitors with other service providers, you are charging more and more, but there's nothing special about you guys, then I'm not going for you. Meaning that it has to be your pricing has to be normal. When I mean normal, I mean compared to your competitors.
Okay. So maybe then the question is, if I ask Mia, you said, and all of you are using Telkom. So that's like there. But when you were searching, were you searching across multiple service providers, or had you already made a foregone conclusion, I'm going with Telkom, so I choose Telkom? And then the question is, why did you choose Telkom? And if you were comparing service providers, multiple service providers, and still choose Telkom, which you did, why did you choose Telkom? So I want to just understand the reasons behind why Telkom in the end, won the battle in evaluation or comparison?
The big one for us was the word of mouth. We have a lot of people around us and a lot of friends that suggested and recommended Telkom at the time, and we were so fed up with our previous provider, RSA Web, at that point that we went with what our friends said, and friends and family friends said was working, and yeah, just needed something to work in the meantime. We just needed something to work.
Okay. And Tandi?
For me, is the fact that I have a second phone, and on that phone, it's a Telkom network, and it's very cheap. Some, it lasts longer. So I tried the fiber, and it actually was very good. And the network in my area for Telkom is very strong. So I was like, why not?
Okay, so it was because I had them for mobile, kind of like give them a chance to give you another service for your home. Damien?
For me, it was word of mouth as well. I had a lot of people recommend Telkom to me when I asked them what service provider do they use, and I decided to go.
Okay, so and did you compare them with others, Damien, or was it more a foregone conclusion based on what people were saying? You just went to go look at Telkom.
Yeah, I mainly just went to go look at Telkom because I really did trust the people that gave me the recommendations.
Okay, Lance?
Yeah, I would say, if I'm correct now, Telkom's like the biggest service provider. Was it just like in terms of infrastructure, things like that, they're really reliable. And just like across the board, I did go and compare with others, and I also did consult with friends and family as well. And it just seemed like compared to the others, Telkom was the best bet.
Okay, so word of mouth is also positive over there for Telkom. DK, you've got your hand up?
Oh, yes. I was using Vodacom, and then the problem with Vodacom, I was paying 600, coming month is 800. It kept, there was no transparency there. So after my contract ended, so I needed something new. So somebody recommended Telkom for me. And then since then, I've been very satisfied.
Okay. Okay. So basically it's all why for you, Pule, was Telkom your service provider?
I also was using let's say MTN before, and they were not very reliable. And then the T's and C's was also not so clear. So when I got to I at first went to go check now, okay, did my research well, and said, okay, this will fit my pocket also. And then going also with word of mouth, that's very important. Because like I said also, people that, let's say Mia, you using Telkom, and I asked Mia, okay, Mia, how do you find Telkom? Mia said, okay, but it's great. Look at the benefits I have. And I said, but I don't have that benefit. So then I go with that and say, okay, let me try them out. And then as far as I've been stuck with them for 4 years now.
Okay, okay. So let's talk about the search for a product. Would you describe it as and I want you to think of it in two ways. Sometimes when you now go out and you need information to help you make a decision, it's very difficult to find the information. Sometimes you get exposed to terminologies and wordings and things like that that makes the process difficult. Would you describe your search and buy process as very easy or difficult? If you had to describe it in a word like that. So Tandi, if you think about the time that you went out now going to look for the service, would you and doing the research, was it an easy process or a difficult process?
It was not easy. It was kind of difficult a bit because now there was information was not clear enough. So you had to go to a branch where, go to the mall and go to Telkom and find out more information, because on the net, they tell you something and maybe the information on the net is outdated, but they have new plans, new information. Then you have to go to the store, and maybe for others as well, So it's not that easy. You have
Okay.
to really put some effort into finding the correct information before you make a decision.
So you got to put some effort into it. Okay. Mia?
Definitely the same thing. Really finding all the correct information and checking for all the hidden things. Like they said, sometimes there's some T's and C's that you don't know or that you don't see. So really getting into the nitty-gritties of things like that isn't the easiest thing. And you really actually have to know what you're searching for and what you really want out of it, and know your stuff when you want to participate or buy or sign up for things like this, so that you can be guaranteed what you're getting. And then if you're not getting it, that that, okay, well, this is what I'm paying for, this is what I expect to get, and this is what I'm not getting, and this is what has been said. So sometimes the information is a bit tricky to get hold of.
Okay, Lance?
Yeah, I would also say something similar. It's not, if you have to research everything yourself of all the many options and how technical it can become, can be quite difficult. I think that's why everyone mentioned word of mouth. Also, I know something for me that was very useful is something like Hello Peter, where you can actually check on there and see what people are really saying, like boots on the ground knowledge. Obviously, on websites and things, you're just going to see the 5-star reviews. You're not always going to know. So I found something like Hello Peter really helpful.
Okay. Damien, for you?
Yeah, again, it's just something similar. It's just like, it was very difficult for me to just get the right information like through the web, because again, all of the stuff is just hidden away properly, and so I had to just rely on word of mouth there.
And just with that, asked Damien, is that difficult information on their website, or is it the general internet search? So are you saying that's also a difficulty? Like even when I go into a website for Telkom, finding the right information or getting it, or is it difficult when you are doing the general search on what is out there and things like that?
Usually mainly the general search. Their website sometimes as well, but mainly just general search.
Okay, mainly the general search. Okay, Pule?
Obviously, yeah, you need to know what you're getting yourself into, first of all. So that T's and C's is very important, though. You actually need to make time and go through it and read it, understand it, and then you can say, okay, I'm making this decision based on what I've just read now, and I understand the T's and C's, and I know what I'm getting myself into.
Okay.
And
DK?
also sometimes their website can say something that is different to the branch, so it's always difficult.
Okay. So sometimes the information is not always aligned.
Yeah, it's not the same. When you get to the branch, they are saying different things than.
Okay. So if we think about terminologies, some people have said, there are certain terminologies that are difficult. Do we all know when people say fair usage policy, what that means? Generally, when we hear the word fair usage policy, do we all understand what that means? Generally.
Yeah, according to my understanding, Danny, they just saying do not misuse.
Okay.
Right? Whether it's an uncapped, whether you are paying, they're just saying fair policy. Do not misuse the gigs that they're giving you, because apparently, even with unlimited packages, there's a certain level or a certain maximum of gigs that you get that you are not aware of. And then they'll tell you that okay, with this we don't expect you to exceed.
Okay.
And then you like, I sign up for an uncapped, this is an unlimited, what do you mean? They'll tell you it is what it is. So that's how I understood it.
So just basically how, Mia, you've got your hand up, so let me allow you to go.
So from what I was looking into when I was looking for providers and usage policies, I think they also can track whether you're doing things where you're downloading unauthorized softwares or accessing unauthorized I don't know, VPNs or websites or things like that. I think that's part of the usage policy thing, but I never really went too deep into that because there's a lot to cover there actually, and obviously I'm not doing strange things like that, but I think that is part of it, is how are you under this organization? How are you utilizing your network? What are you actually doing with this network? And does it involve, I think, illegal activities or something like that?
Okay, then I wanted to know words such as, and I mean, maybe the first question to ask is, based on how DK explained the fair usage policy, is that how we all tend to understand it? That there's a service provider that would still give you certain terms and conditions of how you can use your product or how you can use your service, or, that you have. Or, do we all understand that to be the case? Okay.
That's how I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
same
totally
here.
the same.
Okay, so if we talk about, and I just want to understand this earlier, I think it was either Damien or Lance, and I think it was Lance that used these words, kind of shaped, throttling, unshaped, and unthrottled and stuff like that. Do we as consumers understand what service providers are actually talking about when they bring up these words such as shaped, unshaped, throttled, not throttled, on those kind of things, Lance?
Yeah, I think it should definitely be made more clear, easier to understand, especially when I think it was DK that mentioned it, when it contradicts some of the other things, like when they'll clearly say, no, it's uncapped. You can use it as much as you want, and then later you find out, no, there's a thing called throttling and there's fair use policy, and that seems to contradict that. And then I think that confuses people, especially if you're not familiar with those type of things.
Okay. And then I wanted to ask you now, before we get into this last part, which we'll spend a bit of time on, there's the term that some service providers use that goes, oh, first of all, do we all understand when service providers use the term megabits per second? And what does that relate to? Standiwe, if you hear the words megabits per second, what does it relate to?
I think we don't really understand the megabytes. It's the same as gigabytes.
Okay, so sometimes these terms can be confusing as well, but generally the others are saying they know what these terms of megabytes per second actually means and speaks about. Am I correct, Pule? You're saying you're okay with that?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, so what do we think a service provider means when they use the word best effort? If a service provider uses the word best effort, what do we think they mean?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is that it's a priority for them to provide the best service possible and to make sure that what they're advertising is actually being put forward. We're doing our best efforts to give you what we have promised this product is going to be. And if there are faults with this product, we put our best efforts forward to making sure that it is up to standard as promised. Or at least, yeah, that's how we would hope it would be.
So it's as close to up to standard as we promised.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other understanding of what a service provider means when they use the word best effort?
I would say, like Mia just said, just to add on, like, there's no false advertising. What you see is what you get.
Okay, no false advertising. What you see is what you get. Any other thoughts on what best effort directly references and speaks to, DK?
Jenny, I think they mean that best effort, it means that according to how I understand it, is that they best effort, they're trying their best. Like there are no miracles here. You know, they're not going to abracadabra things. Like, yeah, somebody said what you see is what you get.
So they're trying their best to provide the best service.
Yeah, they're doing their best and don't stress them out.
Don't stress them out. Okay. So I want to ask this question, and the reason why I ask this question, because it sets the context to what I'm going to show you and present to you and what we're going to have a discussion on. But I want to know, if you think about your internet access, what has been the most embarrassing occasion while you were on the internet that kind of disappointed you? If it's happened to anyone, your most embarrassing occasion, or the most frustrating occasion when you were busy with something important and something went wrong. Pule, what was yours?
Connected without internet.
Connected without internet. So
Yeah.
it says connected.
It says connected without internet.
Okay. So you've got no signal.
Yeah.
Okay. Maya, yours?
Definitely the same thing, connected without internet, but then also having to ask students when they're busy playing a piece, and I actually want to check their technique, to ask them to put their video off because it's not coming through properly, and I can't actually hear what they're playing nicely if the internet isn't working properly.
So it's slow signal.
Slow signal, yeah. And makes it come off a little bit less professional on my side. It's a bit embarrassing.
Okay.
Forgot to pay on time. That was the most embarrassing for me.
Yeah,
So
I
you
agree with that.
forgot to pay on time.
Yes.
But has there ever been something like Standiwe, where you were busy doing something and all of a sudden your internet was slow, or you couldn't complete what you were doing? Anything like that happened?
Yeah, it happens, but I eventually remember that I didn't pay.
Okay. Lance, for you, any occasions where the internet really failed you at a critical time?
Yeah, I would say maybe when you have to download some software and it's like a big download or something, and then suddenly the internet cuts out. And you don't have that ability to restart your download where it stopped, and now you've wasted a lot of your time and everything, and that stuff like that's really frustrating.
Okay, Damien, for you?
It's essentially the same thing. Just while I'm trying to do work, for example, having a meeting like this with people who want to talk about the solar company and all that, and then all of a sudden just no internet access, and I'm just like, okay, so I look like the fool.
Okay. DK, lastly for you?
Denny, it just embarrassed me now because I'm the only one whose video is not on.
Also me.
Okay. I understand, DK and Standiwe. You experiencing this moment now at the moment. Okay. So let me tell you this concept. So there's a service provider that's approached MarkData that says, we're interested in launching a service, and I'm going to read to you so that I'm going to read it very slowly so that everybody can understand. The service is called priority data, right? And I'll just explain what it is. So I'm going to sketch the scenario. So imagine having the option to temporarily move to the front of the queue on the mobile network when you need the best possible broadband experience or internet connectivity. Data priority, or priority data, is an optional add-on service available to customers on the LTE and the 5G network. It is designed for those times when your internet connection is especially important, such as during an important meeting, an online exam, live streaming of a sport event, movie streaming, downloading, large files download and upload, online gaming. When priority data is activated, your internet traffic is given the highest priority on the mobile network than the standard internet access. This can help deliver a more consistent and responsive internet experience, particularly when the internet is busy. What we need to understand is that priority data does not increase your internet speed, but it is also not a guarantee of a specific speed. It just means that if there is any interference on the network provider basically prioritizes your connectivity on that network. So when the network is not congested, customers may notice little or no difference between the sufficient capacity which is already available, right? So the priority data, we will see it as being occasional, intended. There's an event that's going to happen in your life, and that's why you need the priority data. And because the priority data will work like a voucher system, people will activate it when they need it. And these vouchers will be based on different durations in hours. So it will be time-based vouchers. So some vouchers will be a certain time, another time, a week, a month. You can choose which is suitable for your need to address an occasion in which you want to activate this priority on the network, right? So maybe before we get to discussing the concept, I first want to ask you, do you have any questions of clarity so that you understand the concept properly before we discuss it? But DK, you've got a question?
Yes, Danny. My question is that people that work online, right? So every day for them, it's an event, like you're saying. So what's going to happen to them? Because they cannot every day prioritize. You said it's a priority what?
So it's called priority data. It's called priority. The name can change, but for the purposes of the research, we're calling it priority data. So the question you say is, what will people do that work online every day?
Yeah, it's a priority for them every day. It's a big event for them every day. All their meetings all day long are important. So what about them?
Okay. Any other questions of clarity before we start discussing it? Thandi?
You mentioned something like it's a voucher, so you need to buy the voucher, download the voucher, like
Yes, so it could so typically like what you do airtime now, you could do it on star 120 hash or star 180 hash, or you could go online and buy the voucher. You could have the mobile app of the service provider and buy the voucher. So it's basically using the same kind of methods that's currently available in how people are getting airtime. So that it's
sometimes those star 1 2 something they don't work. They will tell you that it's something off, like the message it pops up sometimes, not all the time. It's
okay.
just a glitch. So what happens when there's it's acting up?
So what I can say is that they would make this available in different formats. It's much the same like if you now have, you could go onto the service provider website and buy the voucher. You could go onto an app and buy the voucher. You can go onto USSDN and buy the voucher. So there will be multiple channels in which you can buy the voucher. Okay. Pule, your question?
Okay, so let's say I'm having a problem with, let's say, the so-called priority data. Do they have branches? Let's say they're unreachable online. Do they have a branch where I can like go in myself and go approach them there and there?
Yes, they would have branches because it's part of part of the service provider that's already because it's an existing service provider. They just planning to or considering adding this as a value proposition
Oh, it's
for
an
consumers.
add-on.
Huh?
It's an add-on.
It's an add-on. Yes, that's a very important word that you kind of like bringing because remember your LTE package will still remain your LTE or 5G package. This has got nothing to do with your package. This is an add-on you take based on an occasion on which you want this priority for a certain time period. That's what this is about. And we will, like I said, discuss it in more detail. We just doing the questions for clarity, and then we can move on. Any other question that you want to ask for clarity? DK?
Danny, is it safe to call it a add-on or
Yes.
or extra?
Yeah, you could call it an add-on or an extra because it's a choice.
Okay.
You can add it on. That's why we can say add on or extra because it's a choice you make as the customer. Not everybody has to do it. Not everybody has to take it. It's an add-on.
Basically, it's a pay as you use.
Pay as you use kind of thing. Yes, pay as you use. Okay. Okay, so we've depleted the questions. Maybe let's just start discussing it, right? So at a concept level, at a high-end concept level, what are your initial thoughts that comes to mind? Mia, if you think about the concept as I've presented it to you, what are your initial thoughts?
Initially, it sounds quite attractive to me because what I do is a lot of the time online work, and I need to be able to have clear audio and clear video of what the students are doing. So it sounds promising. But knowing that it's an add-on, like DK was saying earlier, for people that do it every day, I don't know if taking out more money every day for that voucher would be sustainable in the long run, but if there is high usage in the area, so for example when there are more people using the network at the time, it could be useful to have that voucher so that I can at least get through my day of work with no interruptions, which is very important. And then also just how long the max hours that the voucher can last for would also be important in that sense.
Okay.
But it sounds promising and it sounds like a good solution if we are having troubles and we cannot complete our work, our meetings, our lessons, and our things that we need to do. It would be nice to have that option if it's dire.
Okay. Lance?
Sorry.
You're on
I
mute,
think it
Lance.
is
Okay.
an interesting concept. It would definitely be nice to have like that extra option available. Kind of know you could do something like that. Obviously, the big thing would be how much would that cost be? Because you can almost say it's kind of a more elite option. Would that the cost be then significant? And also, I would want assurance if you do take that. Will it actually give you what it says? You don't want to be in the middle of that meeting. You bought that voucher and then the thing cuts out and you're halfway or something like that.
Okay. Okay, I'm making a note of that. Damien, your initial thoughts?
It does sound appealing, but there's a part of me that's wondering, since it's an add-on that everyone can get, wouldn't it, if say everyone starts using it at the same time, wouldn't it still end up being the same issue as it being a high, like busy network? That's the one thing I'm just concerned about.
Okay, so you're saying it sounds appealing, but the problem you have, if everybody gets it, does it not bring us back to where we started from, or we started at?
Yes.
That now we've got another level of congestion on the priority side because everybody's got priority now.
Yeah,
Okay.
while we end up possibly spending more money for this, so it ends up just being a bit of a bugger up.
Okay, spending
Sorry.
more money. Okay, making a note of that. Pule, your initial thoughts?
The same as Damien. Like I agree because if it's a priority, let's say yeah, on the panel, we all have the same thing, and then it starts getting slower. Then we start by square one again. So they're gonna give us another priority data, pro or something that we need to pay for more because this one is now not working out as the initial thought or the initial plan was.
Okay. Okay, got that. DK?
Danny, can you repeat the question again?
So I'm just trying to think, what is your initial thoughts of this offer or this proposition?
For me, it's a good idea. I'm just concerned about people who work like Mia, right? And I'm just waiting to see how good is the concept. That's it. But surely I'll have to criticize 1 and 2 from it. But it's a good idea. I just want to see how it's laid out, how
Okay.
convincing it is. What are the benefits, the advantages?
But what do you think are the advantages? I mean, based on what I've said, do you potentially see any advantages from a concept like this, DK?
How does it work? Is it a once-off? Am I allowed to purchase more than one? Or if, let's say, I'm having a week of meetings, right? Am I allowed to purchase for the whole week? How does the voucher work? Is it worth it?
Okay,
there are things that we have to weigh here.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna try and share with you something. Please tell me when you can see the slides.
I can see it.
Okay, but you're seeing the notes ones, right? Can you see this one?
Yes, flexible
Yeah.
priority.
Flexible
Okay.
priority data pass.
That's correct.
Yes.
So, okay, so now what we are seeing here is we're seeing the description there again that just recaps the description saying priority is available as an optional value added service that can be added to your existing LTE package whenever you need it. This pass are completely optional and can be purchased only when required, allowing customers to choose the duration. And this just gives you the proposed duration. So now coming back to your question, DK, how much time will be available? So there's the 3 hour, 8 hour, a 1 week, a 1 month. So, so people can choose when they need it for the specific occasion that they need it for, and they have that choice. So still coming back to the team of and everyone to say, what is our thoughts of this offer and how it is kind of like put together. DK, coming back to you, now that you understand what the offer is, and you now know that people will have the option of time, is there anything you want to add to your comment that you've already made?
The worry now, Danny, is the pricing now. Now that I've seen this, the worry is just the pricing. And then also, if I'm going for a 3-hour pass, and let's say, for example, the meeting that we are doing now, let's say it's 1 hour, 30 minutes. What happens to my extra 1 hour, 30 minutes?
Gone.
Okay.
Gone.
So you're saying what happens to your unused time?
Yeah, what happened to my unused time? I feel I need to have it carried to the next day, or whenever I need the flexibility to have it or to use it.
Okay, so you want carry over time.
Carry over time, yes.
Okay, okay, okay. I'll make a note of that. You want carry over time. Okay, for the rest, is the concept still now clear? That you understand that it's time based? These are the proposed options of what is available on the in terms of the different time-based plans or products. So now I'm going to ask you something. Because DK now said something about price. What do you expect it to pay, or it would be dependent on the price that is being offered. And if I asked you the question, and I'd like you to make a note of that because I'm going to ask everybody the question. If this service provider has given us the concept, has given us the different time vouchers that they are planning on launching, as customers or as consumers, what would that be? What would that acceptable level be that we would want to pay for the service across those various time-based vouchers? So if I think about a 3-hour voucher, you've got to tell yourself, well, I'm paying this on my LTE. If I had to pay for a 3-hour voucher, I'm comfortable with this. Then I'm comfortable for 8 hours with this amount, eight days, or 1 week, 1 month. Here are my pictures that I'm putting, because I want to get to understand how much value do we perhaps attach to this and what we anticipate to pay.
Well, I think a big thing that I would, I can't really think of exact pricing right now, but a big thing for me, so we do have the option of fiber in the area. So I would have to consider paying for an 8-hour, 1 week or 1 month pass, because my lessons are definitely longer than 3 hours. Eventually, in the long run, would that add up to more than just getting fiber installed and paying for fiber every month? Or is that still going to be worth it to go for the vouchers and the passes? So I'd have to cross-reference those prices and that pricing to see if it would actually be worth it for the type of work that I do.
Okay. So maybe imagine this, just for me to play devil's advocate with you, Mia, is imagine you don't have fiber, and imagine fiber is not coming to your area, because I want you to think of what would be an acceptable price and what you would be willing to pay just to gauge. I am going to show you the proposed pricing at some point, but I want to see where you guys are at, knowing and understanding the concept, understanding the value of what is intended, and then this option of the vouchers. DK, I see your hand is up. Do you have proposed pricing for me?
No, Danny. I wanted to add on, does this take away the what do I call it? The privilege of having this LTE? What if we are going to be adding on, and then does it not take away what we are initially paying for, which is the LTE?
No. Okay, so let me say this.
I don't want the concept to contradict the LTE that we are already paying for. So right now, this concept is saying that the LTE that we are paying for every month is nothing. So this is giving a picture of saying, it's between choosing between a diamond and a rock.
Okay.
How do you convince us that we need the flexibility priority passes? I'm not sure if you understand me.
Yeah, no, I do. So let me try and give you just a kind of an analogy that hopefully will help. So think about buying an air ticket. just to break it down, and sometimes my examples might not be the perfect ones, but let's try it. Think about buying a ticket. And then you're sitting there and you hear that someone says, well, those people who bought or that have got priority boarding, please come forward and board the plane. So everybody's still going to the same destination, but some people have just paid a little bit extra to get on the plane before everybody else. So that's like one analogy that I have to say. Your service is still the service. The flight is still the flight. You're still going to the same destination. It's
But
just
you're
that
on VIP.
it's just that someone has paid a little bit extra to have that VIP experience.
Okay.
So that's the closest that I can say. So your LTE is still the LTE, but we're saying that we've all experienced those embarrassing moments when LTE has disappointed, or the network congestion has been slow, or I couldn't get the lesson done or hear the student's song. And this is saying that if I'm doing a very important exam and I cannot afford, is there value in me buying a 3-hour voucher to give me this priority on the line to make sure that if any interruptions happen, my service will be prioritized. So if there's a dip in service, mine isn't going to dip. Everybody else might dip, but I'm not going to dip because I've got this priority pass. So therefore, DK, your LTE is still your LTE. Does that example kind of help you, DK?
Yes, very much. It makes sense. We are just special in this case.
So now I want to come back, and I still want to get your price range value of what you'd be prepared to pay. So if I asked you, Pule, you raised your hand.
All right. Remember, we agreed that it is an add-on.
Yes.
Okay, so this is just basically like a VIP pass.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Like I understand it. Okay, let's say because I'm also in sport. Let's say I want to live stream for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever. All right, and I don't need any interruptions while I'm live streaming that whatever I'm live streaming. Right.
Yes.
I would say this, but just like roughly though. But we must also agree that it's a fixed amount though. It's not going to change
Yes.
just because. Okay, yeah, it's a fixed
Yes.
amount. Let's say, for example, for the 3-hour one, you pay because it is also a VIP pass, so it's a little bit more. So let's say 3 hours, 150 rand. Okay, and your 8 hours, 280 rand. Your 1 week, 350 rand, and then your 1 month, let's say 560 rand, because it's a VIP pass, but you also don't want to kill the people out there.
Okay. Mia?
Yeah, I was also looking at that, at least for the 3-hour range, maybe like 100, or maybe for the 8-hour 150 to 200. Depending on how well it works, I might be the type of person that would go for the 1 month pass, but at the end of the day, I don't want my LTE. So if I'm already paying 500 for this, I don't want it to be 1,000 at the end of the day. That's gonna
Yeah.
be, yay, whew, that's gonna be so. So
So what are you paying for 1 week and a month, Mia?
so for a month right now, it's 450 for the
Okay, but
month.
what would you pay for this service
Oh,
now add on?
for the service add-on for a month, I would say a lovely dream would be between 200 to 350.
For
I
a
feel
month,
like that
200,
would be,
200 to
yeah,
350.
yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that would be doable. That would be doable.
Okay.
Right now, just in the state of what the economy is like right now.
Okay. Tandy, what are you currently paying on your LTE a month?
I'm paying
900.
Yes.
Is that 900?
Yes.
Okay. So what will you pay for a 3-hour voucher, a 8-hour, 1 week, and a 1 month?
You know, when I'm looking at these passes, like I said, I also have telco mobile. There's a similar service like this where you need data, like emergency data. You buy it like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So I will say for 3 hours, This is 50 rand is fine.
Okay, that's 50 rand for 8
For
hours.
8 hours, maybe 70. And
Yes,
then for
100.
1 week, that can be 100. And
Yes.
then for a month, it could be 150, not above 150 to 200. No, that's too much. Because if
Okay.
I
if you're
take it
gonna
back. I'm back on with Tandi. 152. That's a good
if
cap.
you're gonna pay more than 150 for the month, why you just might as well go to fiber.
Okay.
Tandy, I'm
Yeah,
back in
point,
also,
yeah.
Lance, Lance, what did you, sorry, Pule, you said something now. What did you say?
I'm back in Tandy. I'm taking everything I said back. I'm back in Tandy. I agree with Tandy.
I agree with Tandi too.
Lance, what do you say?
Yeah, like listen, since it is kind of an add-on and you're probably gonna have to pay a bit more. But as everyone was saying, say if you don't want to be paying almost the same amount on that you're paying for that month, so it becomes a double payment in a sense. And especially if you're sharing between people now, where you're splitting the cost in way. If you're the one that needs this voucher, you're probably gonna have to cover that fully, which is also an issue. Yeah, so I would say like something around 150 probably for like a month pass.
Okay. So
And
you
then
also with Tandi there.
yeah.
Okay. Damien?
I agree with Dundee. It doesn't make sense that it's gonna, like, if it costs the same as an actual service, if you want to get a month, it doesn't make sense. So I
Okay.
agree with Dundee. Yeah.
So what I think I'm hearing is that there's a shift, and everybody that kind of like had a price point is changing their price point now because of Tandi's argument that she's made of how she's looking at the cost and how she kind of like has kind of like put her cost structure together. So the bulk of everyone is at 50 rand, 70 rand, 100 rand, but not more than 150 rand for when taking up the month, the full month coverage of this voucher on the line. DK, would you agree with that price, or did you have other prices in your head?
For me, it's nothing less than 300 rands.
Less than 300 rand for what now? I mean, I because there's 3 hours, 8 hours, 1 week, and 1 month. So where are we? I just have to. You need to guide me with what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I think somebody said at the end of the day, as long as it doesn't reach or it doesn't equivalent to what we are paying already on the LTE bundles that we are having.
Okay. But then also remembering that everybody's paying different. I mean, just now Tandi says she's paying 900 rand for her LTE. Mia's paying 450. Pule, what are you paying for LTE?
Oh, so I pay 520.
So you at 520.
Yeah.
Lance, what are you paying?
It's about 790, I think.
So
So 800
790.
about.
DK, how much do you pay?
I'm paying 800 rands.
800 rand. Damien?
I pay 650.
650. And then Standiwe?
I pay 750.
750. So now we can see that, when we all say it must not be equivalent to what I'm paying, it's like everybody's at a different pricing range. DK, you want to say?
Yes. I had someone saying that if they put on the flexibility priority pass and then the whole household has the same privilege, can this be personalized, meaning that to certain devices, not the whole house? Like, it's better like that, because if I'm buying a voucher to get this service, and then next thing, the whole household, the movies are speed, the TV, hey, everybody's just flexing, enjoying. No, it won't work. So can it be personalized to a certain device?
Okay. We'll write the question down for us. Right. Okay, so let me do this. Let me show you the pricing, and then I want to hear your reactions.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that's
That's
doable.
very good. Yeah, that's very good. Very good pricing.
Yeah.
That's
Very
actually pretty
much.
good.
Yes.
So
I like it.
so
I like it,
so
Picasso.
so what I generally hear you saying is that it's good pricing.
Very, yeah.
Very
Um,
good.
It's
um,
reasonable.
Yeah,
it's
honestly,
Yeah,
better
reasonable.
very
than I was
reasonable.
than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
So it's much better than
Mm,
anticipated.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And with this level of pricing, would it then be something that you would consider making use of?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. And do we kind of like know what I mean, even me, I wanted to ask you, even if you look at the month's price, the fact that you can get it once off, or you even can get it reoccurring, is that 160 rand 159 an attractive price point for consideration for even over and above your 450 that you're paying right now to get this level of priority on your LTE service for the full month
Yes,
of your
definitely.
contract?
Definitely. That is
Okay.
definitely doable. If you're looking at what you're getting out of it and how much you're putting into it, because at the end of the day, you just want seamless, easy, reliable network. That is a good price to pay for easy, seamless, reliable network for the month.
Okay.
Because in my mind, I was expecting that to be the price maybe for the 1 week or the 8 hours. So if that's for the month, that's worth it. Well worth it for me.
Okay. Damien, your reaction to this?
I I, I like that stuff. I like that.
Okay.
I really do think that I will.
Okay. Uh, and what would we think of a brand that launches something like that? Do we think this positively positions the brand in the market, or based on perceptions that you would have of the brand, if you found out? And I think more importantly, the question is, and I'm going to start with Lance. Lance, if you found out your service provider is not providing this, right? So you are Telkom right now, but you find out tomorrow MTN is providing this, and MTN is in your area with LTE. Would there be enough in this proposition to make you consider leaving Telkom for him? Leaving Telkom to go to MTN?
I think so,
Lance?
especially if the packages that's already existing is quite similar and you can have this as an add-on and it is really reasonably priced, that is definitely something I would consider.
Okay. Mia, for you, if this LTE offers now not your service provider, do you think there's enough that could sway you to consider taking up the services of another service provider?
Actually, yes. And definitely, if there are other people that are with Telkom and that said, hey, you know what? I was having problems with meetings, but Telkom just brought out this thing, or MTN just brought out this thing, and now my meetings are seamless and this, and this, I would definitely be persuaded. Definitely.
Kandi, for you?
I would definitely also choose a network provider that has these options, especially for 1 month pass, where schools are closed. It's like there's a huge use of network because everybody's at home. So that's what you actually do when you're working from home and you have a meeting or you're scheduled for an exam or an interview, anything that could be happening in that space of 1 month. So yeah, it's very good.
Okay. Now, if I told you that the company that is proposing to do this is Telkom, how does that make you feel towards the brand and what they're trying to do to kind of like address something for consumers like yourself?
Makes
Mia?
me feel pretty good about it, because there have been times where we did struggle a little bit with the customer service when it came to Telkom, when there was problems with the internet. So if I didn't have to go through all of that to get the internet to work, and I could just purchase a priority pass, I feel like it would make life a lot easier, and I could just, you know, not be distracted by other things, trying to get the internet to work, and just do my work, and I'd be happy. So yeah.
Pule, for you, now that you know it's Telkom, what are your thoughts?
Oh, definitely. It just make things better now. So now I know, okay, I can just add it on. So, like I said, it's a VIP pass. Take the month bundle then, and then I know I'm stress free. Like for someone like in Mia's position that you need the internet constantly for your classes or whatever it is, then you know you're safe and you're covered because you have your LTE already, and then you just have your add-on also. So now you know you're definitely covered. Nothing is going to go wrong with your classes. You can have your classes stress-free or whatever the case may be.
Okay. Lance, for you?
No, this is definitely something that would make me keep on using their services, because it just shows they've identified the problem and they're working on an actionable solution that's affordable and is really going to solve that problem. So I think, yeah, it's a great initiative.
Does anybody have, before we end, does anybody have any reservations or any concerns or any worries at this stage? Now that we've spoken about the concept, we've spoken about who the service provider is, we've spoken about the price, are there any final kind of thoughts that you want to just raise, even if there are concerns that you want to raise? Damien?
It's the main thing that I mentioned earlier. If everyone decides to get it, how would Telkom handle the issue of everyone using it at the same time, sort of thing? That's the only main concern I have.
Okay, so that would be the issue that you have. Any Pule, any last thoughts or concerns or issues now that you know the full spectrum of this offer?
Same like what Damien said. What will make me stand out then? Like if I'm using the service, what is so special about me if everyone else is using the service? So must we get another add-on then where I can use it then by myself? Then I know, okay, now it is definitely reliable, or are we just back to square one again?
Okay, thanks for that. Lance, anything from you? I'm going to come to you now, DK. Lance?
I would say I would want evidence of reliability. So when you do actually need it, that you can use it with certainty and know it's going to be money well spent.
So you want that certainty element to it?
Yes.
Okay. Mia, for you?
I think for me, it would be almost the same thing about if it is not working and something is going a bit faulty or something is not working as it should, is it going to be easy to be able to contact support and get it sorted? I think that would also be a big thing for me, is just how well would there be a solution if by chance a problem would arise with this type of package or add-on.
Okay. Standiwe, any final thoughts from you? Now that you understand the package and also how it works and what it is? Okay, Sandiwe is still muted. DK?
Yeah, I'm going back to what Damien said. What happens when now there's a large number of people that are on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why in the beginning I said, may it choose the devices, not per household or not per, kind of what do we call, is it an IP address?
Yeah.
Yes, not per IP address. The flexibility to choose devices where you want this on that certain device, so that there is not a large number of people on this, and then next thing we're not productive. Because
I agree with you. Sorry,
yes,
DK.
a lot could happen.
Mm.
A lot could happen. And the next thing, you're not getting what you paid for. And then you're like, okay, this is the same as just me paying my LTE as I was paying my LTE. So this it's not special, and it doesn't stand out.
Okay. Pule, you were saying you agree with DK on this point.
Yeah, because then it's more like controlled.
It's
Then
more
it's
like?
more like it's controlled. So I can
Okay.
control it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so everybody has given me their thoughts. I just can't find Tandiwe. Okay, guy. Okay, Tandi. Sorry, Tandi. Yes, Tandi, you.
My question is, okay, since you said it's like a voucher kind of, and you can buy it on your mobile phone, dialing star 180 something. So if that star 180 something is not working, how can you buy it as well? Would it be available on your cell phone banking? Would it be available at the shops? Let's say you cannot access your cell phone banking as well. Can you go to Spar, Pick and Pay, Checkers, and buy it at the money markets? Like, how does it work?
I don't know all the details, but just let's equate it for now to internet, right? To airtime buying of prepaid. There's always multiple places where people can buy it, and whether through Flash or at the garage by giving it a particular name and a particular voucher, and having a 10-digit that you punch into a server or a system that activates the time. You will have multiple. I'm sure they would probably make multiple channels available to people to be able to access it. But what I will do is we will make it part of the report that says these would be some of the concerns that consumers have when it comes to the purchase of the vouchers. If the USSDN is not working, or if one platform isn't working, will they have other avenues in which to buy? Okay, Tandy. Okay, but guys, I want to say thank you very much. Let me stop sharing here. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I pray that you guys all have a good weekend. On behalf of MarkData, we want to thank you, and also just let you know that the deposits that will be made for the token of appreciation will be put into the account details that you've provided the person that invited you to this event this afternoon. So I pray that you will stay well, and please do look after yourselves. And thank you for your participation this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely and blessed
Thank
weekend.
you.
Okay, guys.
Bye.
All the
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful week.